Have you ever waited for something so badly that time just seemed to stop? Watching the clock, the day feels like it will never arrive. The first Christians felt that exact same frustration. They were waiting for the biggest promise ever made, the return of Jesus. They watched the horizon day after day, but nothing seemed to change. Eventually, people called scoffers began to show up. They saw the Christians still looking out the window and started making fun of them for being so hopeful. These scoffers used the sheer amount of time that had passed as a weapon. They hoped that if they talked enough about how long the wait was, the Christians would start to doubt the promise was even real. The scoffers argued that since the sun comes up and goes down exactly as it has since the world began, nothing was ever going to change. They claimed that the world's routine proved that God's plan had stalled. Peter reminds them that they are choosing to forget the past. God has stepped into our timeline before. He spoke the world into existence out of water, and later he used those same waters to flood the earth and give it a fresh start. The world's daily routine is no proof that God has forgotten his plan. His timeline is moving forward, even when we can't see the gears turning. Peter explains that we have to look at God's clock to understand the wait. He lives outside of the seconds and minutes that we experience. On the left side, a human calendar flies through 1,000 years of history. To the Lord, that millennium is like a single day. The math works the other way, too. A single day stretches into 1,000 years of opportunity for God to work. What feels like a long, agonizing delay to us is perfectly on schedule for God. He simply isn't bound by the same human boundaries of time. Even if God's clock is different, you might still wonder why he chooses to leave it ticking for so long right now. The answer is found in God's patience. He is intentionally holding back the clock out of a deep love for people. He gives every person a chance to change their mind, turn away from their mistakes, and walk back to him. He is waiting because he wants his family to be as large as possible. Think of a host standing at the front door of a party, holding it open as long as he can so that even the slowest, latest guests can still find their way safely inside. This patient waiting period will eventually reach its end. Peter says that day will arrive suddenly, catching the world by surprise like a thief in the night. When it happens, the old, broken parts of the world are cleared away. The earth and heavens melt in an intense heat. This cleaning process makes room for something wonderful, a new heaven and a new earth, where everything is finally right. It will be a world where everyone does what is good and fair. This clearing away is an exciting renovation. It is the only way to get rid of the damage and give us a flawless forever home. Knowing that this perfect world is definitely coming changes how we spend our time today. It leads us to a practical question. How should we live while we wait? Peter tells us to focus on living holy and godly lives. We should be people who are at peace with God and with the people around us. Living holy is about the small, daily choices we make. It means choosing kindness and honesty to show that we belong to God's family. Every time you choose what is right, you are giving the world a tiny preview of the peace and goodness that will one day fill the entire earth. Peter also warns us to be careful about confusing messages. He mentions that even his friend Paul wrote things that can be hard to understand. Some people will take those difficult words and twist them around. They want to trick you and make you lose your confidence in God's promise. Stay on your guard. Don't let anyone pull you away from the solid ground you have found in Jesus. Your main goal is to keep growing. Keep learning more about Jesus and the kindness he gives us, that free gift of love we call grace. Every extra day we wait is a fresh gift of God's patience. Our job is to stop worrying about his clock and start growing, living peacefully until the greatest promise comes true.